Attention all stations. Good evening everyone and welcome. Bonsoir tout le monde et bienvenue. This is Victor Alpha 3 Charlie Juliet Zulu VA3 CJZ opening the Amateur Radio Exchange Group Net, also known as AREG, for Wednesday, November 13, 2024. My name is Chuck and my station is located in East Hamilton. This net is on every Wednesday night starting at 8 p.m. and ending around 10 p.m. local time here on 146.430 megahertz. And since this is a Simplex net, not everyone will be able to hear everyone else. So I also stream the net on YouTube so people who tune in can hear stations that they cannot hear on their radio, hear how their audio sounds on the air, and see their signal strength as well as see my station layout. Just type my call into the YouTube search box, again VA3CJZ, and look for us live. Or tonight we'll have the title AREG Week 1626. Finally, we ask that you please leave a 1 second delay at least between transmissions to allow other stations to break in. Now, are there any time sensitive or mobile stations? Please come now. All right. Well, we got Al VA3 NFL as an early check-in, so he's in the log. Let's open it up to any and all check-ins. This is VA3 CJZ.
VA3 AXK.
VE3 AMQ. VA3 IMW. Glad Rick was the first check-in.
Victor Alpha 3 Bravo Tango.
VE3 ZJC.
All right. I think I got them all. AXJ, KMQ, IMW, Bravo Tango, and Zulu Juliet Charlie. Let's say hello to Rick, number 1, VA3 AXJ. Come on in, Rick.
Thank you, Matt. Yeah, everything's good.
Matt,
getting better. Everything's looking better. Less stressful. Getting back to normal. Got my brother home today from the hospital. I got a babysitter him now. But other than that, yeah, everything's going good.
Oh, that's good to hear, Rick. Glad to hear. So, bet she's happy to be out of there, right?
Hell, I don't know. He was the class clown up there, eh? And it was kind of funny.
Yeah. Ah, one of those. Well, then that's why they throw people out when they when they're starting to get back to their normal selves. And obviously, sounds like he showed his colors. Right on. Good to hear. And thanks for checking in, Rick. What else is new and exciting?
That's a lot. I'm dreading the winter, put it that way. Can't stand the cold. I don't mind the snow as much, but I don't like the cold, eh? It's into my back like crazy. In fact, I'm just about ready to take a couple of killers here and just relax and chill out. My son's doing pretty good. I got the hall booked for Sunday for a celebration of life. And I guess that'll be okay for him. Other than that, everything's the same. Everything's back to normal, I hope.
Oh, very good, Rick. Glad to hear it. Okay, my friend. Well, hopefully we can distract you for a couple of hours there this evening. And I do thank you for your check-in. If you have anything else, just break right in. And before I take the next caller, I want to say hello to Noel, VE3 Kilo Delta Tango, as well as Wade, who's saying good morning, VA3NCA, as well as Jeff, VE3NVY. Thanks for checking in on YouTube. I will add you to the log here shortly, but for now, let's bring it back up to the list, and let's bring in Mike, VE3KMQ. Mike, are you portable or mobile?
Yeah, good evening, Chuck, and everybody else on the net this evening. Hope everybody's doing well. Yes, as a matter of fact, I am. I'm on a new little handheld that I acquired, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks ago. First time checking in on this, on your net with this radio. Running about 10 watts. It's a Chinese radio, 10 watts coming out of it. So yeah, just kind of curious as to what the copy is like. Chuck, back to you.
Okay, well, first of all, Mike, thanks for checking in. And that handheld is giving me a great signal. You're at like 40 to 50 over, almost full scale. Here I use 60 as my scale, but it's just bars on the side of the radio. And there's a slight bit of noise coming in. If you like to go to the YouTube stream, you could listen to it there. I do have a clock on the screen. You can just move the slider bar at the bottom, and it's 8:06 p.m. at the moment. But sounded good there, Mike. Bring it back again.
Yeah, okay, Chuck. Very good. Well, glad to hear I'm getting in okay. I did have to move around a little bit just before you took my call, just to get the sweet spot with the minimal amount of noise. I think I found it here. But anyway, glad to hear the copy is decent. Certainly not as good with a outdoor dual band antenna. But anyway, glad to make it in and say hello. And yeah, that's about it, I guess, for me this evening, Chuck. And back to you, VA3CJZ, V3KMQ.
Okay, Mike, very good. 10 watts, eh? What do you mind telling me what model radio you've got?
Yeah, not at all. It's a Radtel RT730. It's actually a tri-band radio. It'll do 220. And checked into Chris's net, the Burlington net, just a little while ago on 220. And so glad to hear that it works that way. And yeah, it's not a bad little radio. Once you get used to it, it's like anything else. Just first start to play with it, it's like frustration after frustration, because you've got a certain point of reference with other radios, and you got to learn things all again. But anyway, after 3 or 4 weeks or whatever it's been, I'm reasonably happy with it.
All right, very good, Mike. Well, I've been eyeballing, well, not lately, but when I was shopping for the Quansheng radios there, I was also had my eye looking at the Radtel radios as well. There's a bunch of neat little handheld radios now, so they've come a long way. Well, it's working well for you, Mike, and I do thank you for your check-in, and I wish you a great rest of the week. I personally did not do any radio work this weekend. I've been nursing a bruised foot. Had a little spill on my step ladder and really bruised the heck out of my one foot. So I wasn't really into concentrating on the radio. But this weekend is looking good. I'm able to hobble a little bit with it. So things are getting better. And I think I'll be mentioning some of the contests coming up. So thanks again, Mike. And let's move down to Mac, VA3IMW.
That would be up to Mac. Anyways, yeah, just a quick note for Mike. His little handheld radio is doing a fine job. It's a little better than an S8 up the hill. Chuck, you're 20 over S9. Good job there. Radio's working very well. Let's see, it's only Wednesday. Feels like I've already been through a full week. But, today's hump day, and it's downhill all the way from here. Just a quick reminder that the Lake Ontario Radio Club net will be on Simplex frequency tomorrow night, 446-125. And we'll be open that up for check-ins at 7 o'clock as usual. And as usual, a reminder for the Sunday night 70-centimeter sideband net also uses the same frequency, but we're very respectful of their FM neighbors. What else is going on? Just the usual back and forth to work and all the rest of that stuff. So I'm looking forward to the entertainment tonight. You always put such hard work into the research and so forth. We certainly appreciate it. Let me turn it back to you, and you can say hello to everybody else. VA3IMW. I'm sticking around for the duration.
Okay, Mac, very good. And your signal is full strength over here at the Center Mall. And thank you for your check-in, Mac. And we'll get back to you a little bit later, I'm sure. We'll be having an interaction with all the check-ins and people on YouTube in a little bit. So thanks again. So let's see who's next on my list here. I keep having to change screens. And that would be Bravo Tango. Victor Alpha 3, Bravo Tango. Albert, come on in.
Hey, good evening, Chuck, and everybody on frequency. Not much to report here. Just like Max says, it's the middle of the week. Come on, Friday. Anyways, the weeks are flying. That's what I've noticed the last few weeks, anyways. Other than that, just a general check-in. Not much there to report there, Chuck. VA3BT.
Okay, Albert. Also a great signal coming in from you, full strength and good audio. And yeah, it's hump day and only 2 more sleeps left till Friday for those who have Monday to Friday. Some of you don't. Your off days are staggered. My wife, for example, will get, not always at the same 2 weeks off or 2 days off every week. And so I know Steve is like that too there where he works. NFG. Okay, Albert, thanks again, my friend. And let's move down to Jason, VE3ZJC.
Good evening, Chuck, and everybody else on net. Let's see. All my switches are in the right spot, and looks like I'm on the right VFO this time. Prove that I'm a moron. And lack of sleep will definitely do that to you. I got like no sleep last night, and I was trying to check into Chris's net there at 7:30, and the radio's got 2 VFOs, and I wasn't looking at them, and I was on the ZOE side of the radio with the volume turned down. So anybody who was listening to ZOE, I think it was Al and a couple other guys, must think that I'm an absolute complete moron.
Oh, don't be so hard on yourself, Jason. It happens. I know Pierre has a habit of doing that. Sometimes I do a test on this frequency during the day, and he'll answer me on ZOE. So don't feel bad. It's all good. You're just lucky. He had another radio listening in on the ZOE there. Otherwise, you would have been asking yourself, "Is something wrong with my radio?" Nothing except you're on the wrong frequency. All right, Jason. Yeah, don't be so bad on you, hard on yourself. It's not that bad. So thanks for checking in. Do you have any plans for the weekend?
I do. My son's coming over. He's going to pop by on Sunday. As far as radio goes, if the weather's nice on Saturday, maybe I'll hit a park and make sure that the VFO's on the right frequency when I spot myself. And yeah, I'm laughing my butt off over here. I had the HT downstairs. Even the missus came upstairs, stuck her head around the corner and looked in my office and was like, "What the hell are you doing?" Other than maybe some POTA if I'm lucky, and a visit from my son, no real plans. Thanks for doing this one, Chuck. I will send it back to you and see if you get some more in there. VE3 ZJC laughing his butt off. Back to that.
All right, Jason. Thanks for your check-in, and I hope your visit with your son goes extremely well. All right, then. I'd like to welcome VE7 Zulu Whiskey X-Ray, Mark from Vancouver Island on the YouTube stream. Good evening, Mark, and welcome. Nice to have you aboard. How's the weather out there on Vancouver Island? We're looking at 6 degrees here at 8:15 p.m. And so the wind isn't too bad, but that's been our temperatures for the last couple of days. And thanks for joining us. And so with that, let's see who else is out there listening, would like to check in with us here on the weekly Amateur Radio Exchange Group, AREG. My name is Chuck, and my call is Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Juliet Zulu.
Victor 3, November, Foxtrot Golf Mobile.
Victor Echo 3, Romeo Whiskey Juliet.
VA3MCA, I think I got stepped on.
Victor Alpha 3 Tango, Mike in Burlington.
Okay, I may have the order a little mixed up here, but I did hear that double. So that was NFG, RWJ, NCA, and Tango Mike. So let's bring in Steve, Victor Alpha 3, November Foxtrot Golf.
VA3WPG. Good evening, Chuck, and to all on net. Yep, 2 more sleeps, you say, till Friday. So, yeah, it is, in fact, 2 more sleeps, and then I go back to work December 2nd. So, yeah, we're looking forward to punching out this Friday, that's for sure. Nothing else going on here, Chuck. Just on my way home from work. Surprised they let me go at 8 o'clock. It's an hour early, but that's okay. I'll take it. Anyway, send it back to net there, Chuck. Let you pick up the others. Thanks for doing it. This is VA3 NFG.
Okay, very good. Thanks, Steve, for your check-in. Sounding good out of the mobile. And maybe we'll talk to you when you get in the base or parked in the driveway. Appreciate it, my friend. Anything else?
No, that's all. That's it. I just saw a fox run across the road like 10 seconds ago. I'm driving along the mountain brow here up on the ledge, about to go westbound on Fennel. No, that's all, Chuck. Send it back to net, VA3 NFG Mobile.
What color skirt did she have on?
Ooh.
She had short legs, so I don't know.
All right, very good there, gentlemen. Thanks. I got a message here saying Jason is working UHF on split. I wonder if Wade is near the microphone there to explain that.
Contact.
Oh my, we have a contact. Sorry, Chris, I did hear you. You're in the log on my list.
Yeah, I was actually keyed up as soon as you let off the mic. I need to talk to Mac. Mac, can you call me at the number that I texted you at on Saturday?
Yep, QSL.
Thanks. I don't know if this radio is getting out on or what anymore.
Oh, yeah, it is. Jason, you were probably just keying up with someone else, and that's the double that I heard at the beginning. So I hope everything works out.
Yeah, you're full scale down here.
Okay, very good then. So let's see. Who did I take next here? I believe it was Chris. VE3 RWJ. Chris, come on in.
Hello, Chuck. Just for fun, coming in with 5 watts and listening to myself on the stream. It's a busy one tonight. I'm going to listen for the duration. I don't really have any traffic or news or anything. So back to you, V3 RWJ.
Okay, Chris. Well, thanks for checking in, and of course, the YouTube stream is always a handy extra tool to have when we're running a Simplex Net. And so that doesn't mean I may not need a a relay at some point in time during the evening. But that's what Simplex is all about. You can make a signal travel very far with relays. Truckers used to do it in the CB. A person in one town would want to relay a message into another town, and they would just forward the message along to the trucks ahead of them, and so on and so on. And the message would get to the other person in the next town. So very handy. Anyhow, thank you, Chris. And if there is anything you need to know, just by all means, just break in. And so with that, we'll clear with you. And I'm not sure if I got it right here. Victor Alpha 3, Tango Mike.
Yeah, VA3TM, Tom here in Burlington, across the bay from you. And we're just listening on here and also watching you on the YouTube. So nothing new to add, just trying to clean my keyboard for long overdue, and so I'm sitting here cleaning key by key. So that's what I'm doing. Back to you.
Yes. I came across this stuff. It's kind of like slime. It's kind of like a gel, and they use that for cleaning in nooks and crannies on your keyboard, radio, anything that's hard to get to. This little gel you just push it in and it picks it right up. It's sticky, and yeah, it's pretty good stuff.
Yeah, I'm using IPA alcohol, and I looked that up on the YouTube, and that was recommended, and it's working like a charm. So I'm working away here and listening out. Go ahead.
All right, very good then. What's your location again, Tom?
Yeah, we're in Aldershot at LaSalle Towers, so we're looking out over the bay. We're up on the 7th floor, so I got a clear shot at you.
Oh yeah. Sounds like you're across the street. Good job there, Tom. Yeah, you're full strength. And oh, by the way, Chris, if you're listening, VE3RWJ, you were full strength here, and at my location with your 5 watts. So good job, and great job also, Tom. Thank you again. And I'm just looking at the YouTube stream here. There's some little chitter chatter going on between the folks there. So for now, we'll just go back to our list here and try and populate it again. Once VA3WPG, once you're done with your call there, Chris, break back in anytime you like. I've got a spot for you here on the log. With that, let's see who else is out there would like to check into it to our net. This is VA3CJZ.
VA3NCA.
All right, that saves me the trouble of typing it in. I already added you to the log also there, Wade. Come on in.
VA3CJZ, VA3NCA. Good evening, Chuck, and good evening, everybody on net. Yeah, it's Wednesday, halfway through the week. It's been feels like it's been a full week so far. So yeah, I know that comment about split was just a comment to Jason having the wrong VFO. You don't generally work split on 70 centimeters, but that almost sounded like what it was. I was making a bad joke in my tired brain. It was funny at the time. So, anyways, yeah, it's been a long week. I was at work today, and we were doing a construction walkthrough of the computer rooms, which need a renovation. So those places are dry and loud and cold, and so I'm talking in them. I'm raising my voice and in a loud, dry environment, and then it suffers the rest of the night. So, I am feeling better over that cold, but then you go and strain the voice like I did all afternoon for talking to the facilities guys, and this is what the result is. But anyways, all that's behind me for the day. I don't have to go back there until tomorrow, so spend the rest of the time with you and everybody else on net. It's a good way to go on a Wednesday. Yeah, anyways, you got lots of people, it sounds like, in the book so far, and to come, I'm sure. So I will pass it back to you and be listening along. VA3CJZ, VA3NCA.
Oh, okay, Wade. Very good then. So now I get it, because I was a little confused, because when you do that, it's normally crossband. That's what I use, from 2 meters to 70 centimeters, and so, vice versa. So very good. Yeah. So, well, you must be feeling a bit better other than being tired, because your quick wit there is making Jason kind of laugh at that comment. And I know what you mean about loud noises. I used to work with big generators the size of tractor trailers, uh, portable generators, and they were quite loud. And so not only your hearing goes, but so does your voice if you have to talk over it, over that sound. But anyways, Wade, thank you so much for checking in. Much appreciated, sir. And if there's anything else, break back in anytime. But for now, do you have anything else?
No, just it's a good thing I don't work in that room very often. And just today, it happened to be a time when I had to talk about parts of the room with other people, and that meant raising the voice. So we do offer hearing protection in the room, but it's for comfort, not necessity. They have done tests, and they say that it's an 8-hour time limit at that noise level. So people aren't working in their regular time. So we just provide the ear protection for comfort, not OSHA requirements or anything. And so, anyways, long story medium is that if you're in there actually to show things around and talking, then you can't wear it anyways, because then they wouldn't hear you. So anyhow, yeah, I'm listening along, and I'll be listening for the events coming up with the trivia and the this day in history and all the other fun things. So back to you there, Chuck. Thanks again. VA3NCA, back to net.
All right, very good then. Thanks, Wade. So we'll clear with VA3NCA and see who else is out there would like to check in with us here on our weekly amateur radio exchange group, AREG. My name is Chuck, and my call is Victor Alpha 3 Charlie Juliet Zulu here in the east end of Hamilton. Anyone, anywhere, please come now.
Victor Alpha 3 Oscar Yankee Lima.
For uniform.
All right, I believe I got another double there, and that would be VA3OYL stepping all over VE3 Charlie Echo uniform. Anyone else? All right, very good. Let's say hello to Debbie. VA3, obey your leader.
Uh-oh. Didn't mean to step on anybody. Good evening to all on net. Not much going on here. I'm just going through a couple old laptops and wiping them clean and getting them ready for the scrap heap. So I have a MacBook here, which I'm not familiar with, so I have to do some research on how to wipe it clean.
Yeah, always better to read the instructions. I know, I remember when things used to come with a plastic shield, people used to use Windex on that, and they'd wonder why uh, the plexi would not be clear anymore. Well, the chemicals get embedded in the pores of the plexi, and they make it they make it non-clear. So you got to be sure to use Windex type stuff on glass only. And same thing, they have this stuff called Rain X, and it's a lot of people use it on their windshields of their cars and things like that, their boats. And some are made for plastic now, but generally they have the original stuff that's for made for glass only. So you got to be careful. You got to make sure you're using glass. anyways, that's my my advice. Nice to hear you, Debbie. Great signal. You're full strength. Nice audio. And any radio work lately?
Chuck's not getting the context.
Yeah, I know. I'm wiping the hard drives of all the data, not the screens. But that's okay. No, I haven't been doing any radio stuff. I've been busy with other stuff. So the last couple of, well, last week and this week, the only time I've done radio stuff was on Wednesday night.
Oh, okay. Well, I had a brain burp there when you said hard drive. I didn't hear it. All I heard was the wiping. And so now I feel like a fool. But, anyways, I got a lot of stuff going on here at the station now. And sometimes my mind wanders when I'm listening. So sorry about that there, Deb. Anyhow, thank you so much for checking in. And do you have anything else?
I'll just say that I didn't specify that it was a hard drive. I just said that I was wiping it clean. So it was easy to make the mistake. Anyway, I'll be listening along and nothing else to say.
Okay. As a matter of fact, Deb, last few days there, I've been gathering all my files, like separating all my photos and my music and my documents and my radio stuff. And I think you're the one who mentioned you had a hard drive just for radio stuff, right?
I have a laptop just for radio stuff and another laptop for genealogy stuff. I've inherited a couple old laptops, so someone says, "Oh, I want to get rid of this. Is it still working? Does the battery still work?" Yep. Okay, I'll take it.
All right. Very good. Yeah. Nothing wrong with using older equipment that people don't want. Excellent. All right, Deb. We'll talk to you in a bit. Thank you. Let's go to Tomas, VE3 Charlie Echo Uniform. Tom.
VE3CJZ, VE3CU. Good evening, Chuck, and everybody else on the net here. Yep, happy Wednesday night. Yeah, I'm hearing everybody a little stronger tonight. I don't know if it's the conditions or what, but yeah, just wanted to check in and say hello.
All right, Tom. Well, you're doing a great job. S9 over here at the Center Mall. Great audio. And so things are working well this evening on 2 meters. And I have no issues at all tonight. So I did look on QRZ before the net started, and we don't have as many sunspots as we normally do, as well as the solar flux is a little lower. And I think we got sideswiped by a couple of solar flares a few days ago. So I think maybe things will pick back up tomorrow or by Friday for sure, unless we get hit by another one. But 10 meters has been great. I don't know if you've got an antenna for that, but all kinds of countries and unique call signs are coming up there on the log page.
Okay, good valuable information there, Chuck. Yeah, I have a 10-meter Magnum out, and I should give it a shot on 10 meters this weekend, see if I can get anybody. But yeah, other than that, not much else is going on here, Chuck. I'm going to be sitting here listening along.
All right, Tom. Thank you. And yeah, you don't need much height. You know, I've got an old Antron. Well, it's not that old, just a couple of years now. An SolarCon A99, or as the CBers like to call it, the Antron 99. And it's only on 20 feet off the ground, and I can work the world with that little vertical. And yeah, it doesn't take much. So give it a shot. You never know who who will hear you when you key up. So try that out. All right, Tom, thank you so much. And with that, let's see who else is out there would like to check in with us here on the weekly AREG Net, the Amateur Radio Exchange Group. This is VA3CJZ.
All right, VA3WPG.
V3LBI.
Okay, two more in there, VA3WPG and VE3LBI. Let's say hello to Chris. Come on in, Chris. Everything good?
Oh yeah, everything's good. Just had a time-sensitive thing I needed to talk to Mac about. Other than that, yeah, it's all good. Nothing radio-wise today. Just gonna be listening along while I get some listening along in the background while I get some stuff done around the place here.
Okay, very good, Chris. Well, you got a great signal. Your 2 meters is working great. You're full strength over here. So if you don't get heard the first time, it could be because you double with someone. And so not to worry, your radio's working fine. No parks recently?
No, not since Saturday. It's starting to get a bit chilly out there, so unless I can find a park with an open pavilion, I don't know if Dundas opens theirs during the daytime or whether it's permanently closed for winter. I know when I went out to Christie, their washroom said closed for the season, whereas Dundas Valley Conservation, theirs just said closed. But I don't know whether that's closed for the season or not, because it didn't say season. Maybe it's just closed for the afternoon. I don't know, but no more outdoor stuff recently. It's getting to be not my type of weather. As strange as that sounds, Winnipeg and all, but yeah, I'm not one for the cold.
Yeah, I don't blame you, Chris. I spent one winter in Winnipeg, and that was enough. Thank you very much. But yeah, the bathrooms most likely there, if they're closed during the daytime now, probably means they're closed. But something to do a little research on, maybe if you're interested in heading out anywhere. But I wonder if Mac has any info on that. VA3IMW?
I always get a kick out of listening to Chris talk about Dundas. He's proven that he's not from around these parts yet. Dundas. Dundas. Anyways, as far as parks are accessible for activation if they're walk-in, regardless of whether they are closed for the season or not. Obviously, if you're looking for facilities to be open for a convenience when you're operating in the park, I guess that's another story. And those are seasonal, and when they close the park down for normal operations, they usually lock up those facilities. But the park itself, if it's a pedestrian access park, even though the park itself may be deemed closed for normal access, if it's a walk-in access park, it's still available for activation.
And it'd be pretty chilly getting out there on the bike now too.
There is that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you got that right. I know what it's like being on a motorcycle, and I've never ridden mine through the winter. I've seen some people, as long as the pavement is bare, they'll ride. But yeah, you have to be seasoned, as well as be able to dress up well enough to not have that biting wind go right through you. Anyhow, Chris, thanks so much for checking in. Much appreciated, sir. And if there's anything else, please, by all means, break in.
Alright, yeah, I have done the motorcycle in the snow a couple times when it became necessary, but it's not something I do by choice. But yeah, okay, we'll be listening along. VA3 WPG, send it back.
All right, Chris, very good. You're in the log, and I gave you your signal report already. And so let's see if there's anyone else out there wishing to check into our net. This is VA3 CJZ. Please come now.
VE3 LBI.
Oh yeah, and then then there's I got VE3 LBI here. He never came back. Larry, come on in. I'm just kidding.
You either miss me at the end for the 7-3 round, or you don't pick me up going through. That's it. I'm done.
You forgot him. He's half an hour early.
Oh yeah, that's right. At least 20 minutes early. What's going on, Larry?
Not too much. Just a little bit of downtown today. Life to the specialist downtown, and had a little walk in the old Eastgate Mall. My goodness, I haven't been in there for I don't remember how last time, but I think 60% of it all cell phone dealers.
Oh yeah, malls are just littered with cell phone kiosks, and some of them have actual stores. A bunch of them have kiosks in the middle. Oh yeah.
I was amazed, anyways, going through it. So, but she wasn't too much longer. But I thought it was a cute little story to tell you quick. We got a second here for it.
Yeah, sure thing.
Last week we had our grandson here early morning. We'd take him over to school. So he came, had breakfast and everything, and into the bathroom, get your hair straightened up, and Grandma gave him his toothbrush and put some toothpaste on it, and he's looking at it, and he looked at it, and he looked up at Grandma and says, "How do I turn it on?"
Oh, the toothbrush?
Yeah, they got those electric toothbrushes at home. So he looked at her and he says, "How do I turn it on, Grandma?"
Oh, geez. Good thing you taught him how to use a dial phone yet, Larry? You sure? I'm sure you still got one, right?
Nope, no more telephones or push buttons anymore. They've been gone for a while, Chuck. We don't even have a house phone anymore. Get rid of that after we got ourselves. But it kind of broke me up thinking about technology. And you're right, the old dial one. There was one there they put out the other day. I forget what it was on YouTube or something. And they asked these two, why was he a young fella, a young girl, to dial this number. And looking at it going, well, there's a zero and, and all the rest of it. But nope, I just thought it was a little bit comical. Grandma, how do you turn this on?
Yeah. Well, if you think about it, it's a great way to get kids to brush their teeth if you give them an electric toothbrush, because there's less physical manipulation, I guess, involved, and it's kind of fun for them. But not all toothbrushes are electric.
Nope, that's for sure. Anyways, no, we're here. Got a little bit early. Got away from the other spot there. Some was interesting, but the rest I didn't really want to follow along with. So I thought, well, I'd drop in early here and surprise you.
Absolutely, Larry. Very good. Thank you so much for your check-in. And I'm starting to feel a little bit better. I can put a bit more weight on my foot. And so, yeah, because before, I would always tend to not try and walk anywhere because it was a real pain, hobbling on one leg and just using the ball of my other foot as a crutch, basically. But now I seem to be able to put a bit more weight on it, and so I can do a few more things that before I would just, sit and say, you know what, I'm going to leave it. All right, Larry, thanks for your check-in again. Let's see who else is out there would like to check in with us here on the weekly Amateur Radio Exchange Group.
V3 Bravo Kilowatt.
Hey, there he is. VE3 Bravo Kilowatt. Rick, come on in.
Hey, so tell us more about your foot. Did you have to go find out if you had any broken bones?
Yeah, no, Rick, I woke up the other morning and I noticed a huge bruise on the outside of my foot along the bottom. And so I knew it was just badly bruised, and now the bruising is changing color, and that's always a good sign. So nothing broken.
Yeah, well, that's good then. Okay. Well, a couple of topics I want to mention at 10 meters. 10 meters. We were at the club barbecue, and one of the guys brought his radio, a battery, and his 10-meter mobile magnet mount. He stuck it on the ground. And 10 meters was open, and we worked a guy on a QSO party. Kansas QSO party, about 8 of us worked them all on that 10-meter mobile Magnum mount on the ground. So that was pretty good. And one of your, I'm not sure who it was who was talking about 10 meters, but if it's open, you can have a lot of fun with 10 meters.
Yeah, that was Thomas in Burlington, VE3 Charlie Echo uniform. So that's what I told him there. You don't need once 10 meters is open, you you don't have to try very hard. Just have a good working antenna tuned up for that band, and away you go. So on the ground, that's different. No metal to radiate with, but the ground, that's a smart idea. Yeah, I've heard guys use guardrails on the side of the road and get out using that. I mean, there's all kinds of things you can do.
Oh, yeah. Well, Renzo likes making dipoles, and he made a dipole of aluminum for 10 meters, his favorite band. So, yeah, you can do that. Okay, another topic. Somebody brought up driving a motorcycle in the snow. Well, I used to do that. I used to do that when I was a teenager, and but my Harley had bad tires on it, and I ended up I lived on a mountain, and I couldn't stop at the end of the street, so I ended up laying it down on the right side, bringing it back up on the left side on Fennel, and down the road. And there was a guy at the bus stop there looked at me, thought I was absolutely crazy. But anyway, and the best motorcycle I had that was in the snow, not legal anymore, knobby tires on it, was a 500 AGS single, one longer, and that thing, boy, it was great in the snow because it had knobby tires on it. So I didn't drive it really on the road. I drove it in the snow. But snowmobile suit, it's just like taking a snowmobile. You know, you put on a snowmobile suit, and it's just another way of having some fun in the wintertime there. Chuck, that's what I think anyway. So back to you.
WPG.
Okay, I guess there's a comment there from Chris, VA3 WPG. Go ahead.
That's absolutely hilarious. Yeah, I've been out a couple times, but in the snow. But the one time I did go down, ironically, it was on a Harley. I was out when it wasn't snowing, and then my way home it did start snowing, and like you say, wasn't able to take my right turn in time. So the bike went down on its right side. That's hilarious. Almost an identical story there, but. Then I had to ride from a place I moved to a new apartment, had to ride my, what was it, a 400, 500 in the snow, and I think that one had a knobby tire too, and made the trip fine. That's pretty hilarious. That's almost identical stories there.
Oh, yeah. Well, hey, you know, when you drive in the snow and you drive on your skid around and stuff like that, it sure makes you a better driver, I think. Okay, and the other story about the electric toothbrush, that is hilarious. Larry, if you're listening, that's hilarious because we had the same thing happen with Pat, my wife's cousin. He come from a pretty well-to-do family,
and they had a toaster that you would put the toast in, and it would go down all by itself, toast the bread, and then pop up by itself. So after he got married, he didn't realize that most of the toasters don't do that. So he bought a toaster and he put the bread in, and he's waiting for it to go down, but it never did. It was the kind you had to push down. So that's a hilarious story. Somebody that got brought up with a toaster that went down all by itself. Anyway, I thought that was funny too. Anyway, back to you, Chuck.
Oh God, that guy must have had to wait a while for his toast. Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen one in person, but that's funny. Oh, geez, yeah. Welcome to the world. All kinds of things. Right on, Rick. That was funny. And yeah, you were lucky. So you actually managed to recover your motorcycle after laying it down.
Oh yeah, it was an old Harley. It had floorboards and a stick shift. So that kind of tells you what kind of bike it was. It was a Harley. And I laid it. I laid it down on the right side. We're going down East 14th, and then I went out to Fennel. I couldn't stop for the light. Well, I was lucky there was for the stop sign, and I was lucky there was nobody there. So I laid it down on the right side, and then I had to pull it back up and lay it down on the left side, and then I brought it straight up, and I just kept on going right down Fennel. And the guy at the bus stop there, he looked at me like I was bananas. But, I guess I was. But, if that's the only means of transportation when you're a teenager, you do what you can.
Absolutely. Yeah, I miss my riding days there, but you never know. I might take it up again, but I would have to start from scratch, as I no longer have the M on the license there. So I'd have to go through all the training and all that. That's kind of a downer. But anyways, hey, if I win the lottery and I can buy a $50,000 Harley, I'll go for the training.
Well, definitely. Somebody I know had a Can-Am, and you know how wiener wagons are illegal now. The cops used to use them all the time. That's two wheels in the back, one on the front. But now the Can-Ams, they got two wheels on the front, one on the back.
Yeah.
And you don't have to balance that. So if you win the lottery, go look at the Can-Ams. They're pretty nice.
Yeah. Don't have to worry about keeping the bike up.
Yeah, no more laying it down. Yeah, the only other time I laid down a bike was down on Bryant Street. Some guy cut me off, and I had my brother-in-law on the back, and we had to lay her down on the side, and I got a bad shoulder out of that, and a bad knee, but hey, that's it, like you drive like you're invisible. That's the safest way.
Yeah. I remember one time I had to lay mine down because I hit a patch of sand that there's in the middle of a T intersection, and it wasn't on the road. It was as you turned. So as I turned, I hit the sand, and of course I hit the wrong brakes, and down it went and broke the turn signal. That's all it did. No biggie. But anyways, right on, Rick. Thank you for sharing that. And do you have anything else before I do another call out?
No, nothing. I don't want to tie things up. The only other thing, I went for that eye operation today, and now that the freezing wore off, it's a bit painful, and it's leaking all over the place. I've got to blot it with a Kleenex. But hey, good thing for ham radio, eh? You don't have to see me. You just hear me. So with that, carry on with the net there, Chuck. I'm here listening. BA3 CJZ from B3BK.
Okay, very good, Rick. Thanks again. I'm noticing on YouTube there we have a new, possibly a new ham tomorrow. B. Willem. Yes, sir. We are here every week, every Wednesday evening at 8 p.m. And I stream the net on YouTube every week as well. So good luck on your test tomorrow. And let me know where are you and where will you be writing your test there, B. William. My name is Chuck, and my call is Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Juliet Zulu. Welcome to our net. As well, Wayne is with us, VA3FMB. Wayne, I will put you in my log. Unfortunately, I can't put the other gentleman in, as this only takes call signs, this log here. So we'll put VA3FMB. And hopefully by next week, B. Willem will have a call sign for us. So thanks again. Hope you enjoyed the net. With that, are there any more check-ins for this week's AREG net? This is Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Juliet Zulu.
Victor Echo 3, Kilo Delta Tango.
Victor Echo 3, Kilo Delta Tango. Noel, come on in. I've already got you written down in the log from the YouTube stream, but come on in.
Yeah, I just had to get one in for the pot there with all the things about the kids these days. I had to say one for, I just recently saw it. It's the new generation. I guess this kid must have just been going out finding his first new place. And he's asking online, what do I do? How do I get Wi-Fi? I got a laptop, but I need to know how to buy Wi-Fi.
Oh, yeah. I remember I used to carry a one of those USB sticks that I could get internet anywhere. Of course, there was a monthly fee to that, but I kind of liked it. It was pretty handy to have.
Yeah, no, there's I just do that with my phone now anyways, but there was that one, and then I think it was a while ago I saw it was a kid found a 3.5-inch floppy, and he was asking his dad, why did somebody 3D print the save icon?
Oh, the save icon was a floppy? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Have you ever seen a floppy drive?
How old do you think I am? Or how young do you think I am?
Yeah, well, you never know. I think I may have used them in the very, very beginning, but I don't think it was on my personal computer. I've seen them somewhere being used, but it wasn't my personal form of saving there. I'm the diskettes. I had the little floppy, not the big ones, the little ones.
Comment.
Yeah, go ahead.
PA3LMW. Truly, the floppy disks were, that term was associated with the originals that were indeed floppy. The original ones were about 8 inches. So there was an 8-inch diameter film that was inside that cardboard sleeve. And then they got really high tech and brought out the 5.5-inch diskettes, but they were still floppy. It wasn't until they brought out the 3.25-inch that they were inside the plastic case. They were no longer really floppy disks unless you broke the case. But yeah, I would be interested to see if Noel had any experience with the real floppies, 5.5 and 8-inch discs.
Yeah, my first computer would have been Commodore 64, so the 5 1/4s. I remember flipping those around. Dying of dysentery and a few other games there. And actually, you just reminded me of my high school computer teacher, who I found out later on he knew exactly what he was saying. Had a very thick East Indian accent and had a very long explanation about the difference between floppy disks, and you can imagine how he said disk, and hard disks, and the difference between the two, and how one can easily fit in your pocket, but the other one is not.
Yep, QSL. And anybody that was in that era will also remember the brand name K-Pro, because the advent of the portable computer, portable being something about the size of a very large suitcase. Anyways, enough of reminiscing there, Chuck. I'm feeling really old.
Yeah. So that is what I meant there, Mac, when I was asking about him ever having the floppies. I meant the original, the big floppies. Me personally, I had the 3.5s there. That's what I started out with. They weren't floppy; they were hard. But yeah, very good then. Okay, well, I'm glad. We're discussing something like this. It brings back some memories for sure. Okay, are there any other questions, comments, or announcements that anyone would like to make? Please come now. How about check-ins for this week's AREG Net? This is VA3 CJZ. Anyone, anywhere? All right, would you look at the time? It's 9:02 p.m. and it's 5.8 degrees Celsius outside the CJZ studio. And for Larry, that's around 45 Fahrenheit. The only man stuck with the Americans. Okay, so let's start off with some, let's see now, trivia or, let's do a little bit of trivia. We'll start off, speaking of motorcycles, what does BMW stand for? In English, not the other language. Does anyone know what BMW stands for?
Bavarian Motor Works.
All right, very good, Mac. Yeah, I don't see anyone on YouTube playing along yet, but just for anyone that joined us, we are streaming the net on YouTube. Just put in VA3CJZ in the YouTube search, and you can find us there live and chat in the chat room and play along with us if you like. All right, very good, Mac. You get the first gold star. Let's go back to my list here. And all right, next one. Which planet in our solar system has the most moons? Which planet in our solar system has the most moons? I can tell you which one, but I can't tell you how many. So Wade is quick on the keyboard there. Anybody on the radio? All right, Wade, you're on the board. Jupiter is the answer. Very good. All right. Next, in what year was the first birth control pill made available to the public in the United States? What year did the pill come out? Well, it's a good guess there, Wade. Wade says 1963 something. It is 1960s. As a matter of fact, it is in 1960 was when the pill was first made available to the public in the United States. All right, next question. The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes was written by which writer? A few of these should know this one. I actually had the entire collection on paperback at home in my library when I lived with my parents. And the author is Arthur Conan Doyle, who later became knighted and was called Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. So there you go. All right, here's a little bit of Aztec history. What city is built atop the ruins of the Aztec city of Tenochtitlan? What city is built over the ruins of the Aztec city of Tenochtitlan?
Mexico?
Believe it or not, Mexico City, Mexico is built right over top.
Dos cerveza, por favor.
Yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, that was the people that used clubs with tar and glass type stones, shards of glass type stones attached to these clubs. Very, very nasty stuff. All right. In what year did the first Walt Disney World Park open in Florida? What year did Disney open in Florida? Anyone? As a matter of fact, it was the decade after the 60s. It was in 1971. Walt Disney World Park opened in Florida, and I went to it in 75. It was still brand new back in 75. I got to ride the monorail system there. It was all automated. Man, it was cool. And of course, your parking section out in the huge parking lot was designated by a Disney character. You were either, Mickey or Dumbo or, Daffy Duck or whatever the characters. That was your section that you parked in. You had to remember that. Otherwise, you'd be walking around for hours looking for your car. All right. What is the most commonly spoken language in the world? The most commonly spoken language.
English.
Well, may I remind you, sir, there are over 1 billion people in China alone. And so the answer is Mandarin Chinese. Oh, okay. So Wade got it right. He just can't spell. I almost, you might as well have put in Mandalorian there, Wade. And now Noel is hungry 20 minutes later. All right. What is the only metal that is liquid at room temperature? What is the only metal that is liquid at room temperature?
That would be mercury.
And not Freddie. Who was the other person that keyed up with Mac there?
That would have been me. BA3WPG. I also was in there. I got one of the first ones. I didn't get to my radio in time.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. Who knows about their zodiac? Next question. What are the 3 water signs of the zodiac? The 3 water signs. I'll wait. Yeah, Wade, Pisces is one of them. What are the other two? Water, the crab. That's correct. Cancer. So Pisces, Cancer, and the other one?
Scorpio.
Albert is on the board. VA3, Bravo Tango. Very good, Albert. All right. What animal can be seen on the Porsche logo? What's that animal?
I want to say Jaguar, but I know that's not right.
A horse or a stallion? WPG?
That is correct. It is a horse. Don't know if it's a stallion or not, but it is a horse. It looks like a stallion. Yep, you're right. All right. So, what is the slogan? Next question. What is the slogan of Apple Inc.? What's their slogan? And Wade gets that one correctly. The answer is think different. All right. I've broken a few of these and cracked some. How many ribs are in a human body?
Male or female?
Think in terms. Way to go, Mac. Think in terms of beer.
24.
Hey, Albert. Yep, that's it. And Brian, I think, says 13 each side. No, that would make it 26. 12 each side.
But females have one less rib per side.
Yeah, I don't know if that's true or not. Okay, here's one for Mac. He was in France. What are the two main ingredients in the classic French dish coq au vin? Coq au vin. That's it. Sorry. Coq au vin. Two main ingredients.
What the heck is that?
Rooster and wine. Coco vin.
That's it, because coq is means rooster in French, and wine is the other ingredient.
It's a way of cooking up a crotchety old bastard and making his flesh taste good and moist.
Easy now. There's a lot of what you just said there around here. Crusty old bastards. All right.
Yeah, you too can be sauteed.
Oh, I'm too cranky. I'd taste more like wild meat. All right. What year did the Titanic sink? What year?
I think it was 1911.
12.
That's it. Max got it. Wade said 1914, and the answer is 1912.
Well, it was April 14th, so that's probably what he got mixed up with.
Oh, was that the day?
Yes, sir.
We just celebrated the commemoration of the sinking of the Edmund Fitzgerald there just last weekend. I made a contact with someone for a special call sign for that. All right. Anyone listening would like to check into our net? Please come now. This is VA3 CJZ. Anyone, anywhere.
EXLJ.
VA3 XLJ. Vanya. You sounding good tonight, sir. Come on in.
Good afternoon, Chuck, or good evening, Chuck, and everybody on it. So, I've been listening for the last little, I don't know, 15, no more than that, like 45 minutes, I guess.
So I spend I spent the beginning of the net trying to get my antenna right up on the roof. Like I got the new mag mount, and I rerouted the wire other way, and that took a while. Took actually a lot longer than I thought it will be. So it was kind of like doing that at the very beginning, anyway. So now I got myself a sugar fix, and there's me and Martin sitting here on our favorite spot, and listening to the net. So that's pretty much it.
Okay, so what type of mount? Is it the tri mount?
Oh no, I always buy those the cheap ones. What happened is usually they last like a year and a half for like $19, and 2 winters. The last 2 winters after that, like whatever the magnet is or whatever it is, like it's all the paint peels off, and the rust starts popping off, and I just took the one down, and I put the same one in the same place, just the unrusted one.
There we go. Found the switch. $19.99, eh? Well, there you go. Yeah, at least, yeah, because they can be pricey. I wonder if a $60 one would last 3 times as long.
You know what? I had one which lasted 2 years, and it's much bigger and beefier than these smaller ones. And outside is enclosed in a plastic, so there is no there is no, how you say this, there's no actually the metal or whatever it is. It's just the connect and plastic, but underneath there's the hollow part. And when I was moving the boxes, I did notice that let's call it a protective film, or there's like a little thin felt of some kind, which blocks the interior of the thing, like, and prevents the water ingress inside. That fell off a long time ago. I didn't even know it, and I, I honestly don't know how long the good ones would last, like, but I just go on the cheap. You know what? When the cheap become expensive, I'll get something that makes sense. But you know what? It's the amount of time I spend on the radio lately. It does not justify the good stuff. At least not for now. Anyways, not enough time in a day, unfortunately, for me.
Yeah, I hear you. I know Steve VA3NFG has one of those tri mounts there. I think he said he just he got a new one and had to reinstall it there. I wonder if Steve is there, VA3NFG. Oh, nothing heard. Okay, very good. Well, thanks, Vanya, for checking in. And so, what what did Junior get there?
Oh, he got a donut. So my wife, she actually decided to drive herself to work tonight, so that's a good thing. I'm gonna be able to sleep in a little bit longer tomorrow, and wake up a little bit early. I think Martin on Wednesdays they take him, school take him to the food bank, and he's sorting out the boxes or filling them up with whatever they show him to do. So that's what he does on a Thursday morning. So I just have to make sure that I wake up early to for him to make on time on a bus, so I don't have to drive him wherever he's going, because I don't know where that thing is. So that would be the plan for tomorrow. But right now I'm looking about. I don't know. Are you guys familiar? There's alloy called the nitnol, and it's very flexible. And if you create a shape in a jig, and you, I guess, the heat wire and the jig to a certain degree, the wire memorize the shape. So it's kind of very springy, and you always want to return in the, let's call it a programmed shape. And it's so what I did, I got hold of the 5 meter of that wire, and I'm gonna try to make dual band the Yagi for like a 2 meters, and 70 centimeters, like on a single boom, but 2 different feet. I'm gonna put a duplex there in between, and I'm just trying to figure out how I'm gonna organize that thing. So far, what I learned is if I use 2 of the folded dipoles, one for each band, and I have 2 different feed points, the antennas they're gonna interact a lot less with each other, even with the resonant harmonics. So basically, that's what I'm listening and reading on my cell phone about that thing, like for the last little while. So yeah, that part is really interesting. If everyone have a time, if you know those really thin, wiggly handheld antennas, they're most likely made out of that type of wire, and it's really neat thing. Only thing is a velocity factor, not very conductive, so it will take a little bit of the touch and go to figure out like it's how long it should be to make a dipole, and I have to figure out how I'm gonna do the 2 bends on each side to make folded dipole. But anyways, yeah, that's it.
Okay, Vanya. Well, thank you very much for checking in and sharing that with us. And I wish you good luck in building and creating your next antenna. And I'd like to say a big hello to Martin. Thank you for joining us on our net tonight. Hope you are enjoying yourself with our trivia questions. But we'll see if we can find some maybe you could answer. But anyways, Vanya, thanks again. And do you have anything else?
No, not much. I'm gonna enjoy the net and stay here for the duration. So I mean, yeah, there's no shortage of question in my head. So just keep going what you do. Chuck, you do a good job. So yeah, nothing for now. VA3XLJ.
Okay, very good, Vanya. And so let's continue on then. Are there any other check-ins for tonight's AREG net? Please come now. All right. Next question. What is the largest island in the Mediterranean Sea? What's the largest island in the Mediterranean Sea?
Cyprus.
Well, it does have an S sound, and it has an S and an I. Sicily is the largest island in the Mediterranean Sea.
You know what? I was thinking about Sicily, and I just said Cyprus because I thought it was a trick question.
No, not trying to be tricky. All right. Let's move on to another one here and see if I can find. All right. What dish featuring minced meat, onions, and oatmeal is the national dish of Scotland? What dish featuring minced meat, onions, and oatmeal is the national dish of Scotland?
Haggis, and if they've made you pay too much.
Haggis is right. Very good, Mac and Brian. Soon to be a new ham with a call sign. Very good.
Mark me for that one too, VA3WPG.
Okay, very good. This is cool. What is the process by which plants release water vapor into the air called? What is the process by which plants release water vapor into the air called? And yeah, Wade got that one right.
Something silly like hydrolysis or something like that.
Transpiration. Yeah, that's the name.
Wade should go on Jeopardy.
Yeah, he'd probably freeze up and bomb. It's all different when you're sitting at home, but when you're there on the spot, in the spotlight there, different story, I bet you. All right, here's another one. What flagship menu item first put today's second largest fast food burger chain in the world on the map in 1957? What flagship menu item first put today's second largest fast food burger chain in the world on the map in 1957? The answer is the Whopper. The Whopper. Oh, Mac might know this one. What is the name? Yes, Whopper. Brian got that right. All right, so next, what is the name of the fermented cabbage dish that's a staple in Korean cuisine?
Kimchi.
Yeah, and I've never had any. Kimchi is the right answer.
Oh, you'd love it. It's really nice to add to rich meat dishes. It has a vinegary tang to it, a little bit of spice, not too heavy, but it's really nice. I think I enjoy it most with rich pork dishes.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll have to remember that next time we're eating Korean, which is never. But I'll try to remember that. Thanks, Mac. All right. Next question. What type of flour was once used as money? You should be thinking about Holland because tulips is the answer. Tulips whose bulbs were once used as a form of currency in Holland. So not the actual flower, but the bulbs. Still, that's pretty cool. Here's an interesting one. For up to how long do cicadas live underground before emerging above ground for just a few weeks?
4 years.
Actually, the answer is 17 years. 17 years for cicadas. Wow, that's a long sleep. All right, next. Where is the world's tallest roller coaster? Where? And by the way, it's as tall as the Great Pyramid of Giza. It's actually in New Jersey at Six Flags Great Adventure. It's called the Kingda Ka, whatever. Kingda Ka roller coaster. Huh. All right. One last one before I go to On This Day. Which planet is the hottest in the solar system? What's the hottest planet? And the answer is Venus. Venus is the hottest planet in our solar system. Okay, one more. This one's pretty cool. One more. Which bone are babies born without? Which bone are babies born without? And the answer is kneecap. Babies are born without kneecaps. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed this week's trivia. We're running a little later than normal, but that's okay. We'll put a stop to this one right here, and we'll pick that up next week, probably. Are there any questions or comments or check-ins for this week's AREG Net? Please come now. This is VA3CJZ.
Yeah, I was going to say VA3WPG. I was going to say Mercury there, but I refrained from answering on that one because science is weird, and I figured for some reason that wouldn't be the answer, but Venus, eh? Interesting. Mercury just to the sun, strange.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's a gas planet too, because yeah, those don't get too hot. But nonetheless, that was the answer there, Chris.
And Venus is hot because Bananarama said so.
Comment?
Oh, she's got it. Venus, yeah, that song. I like that song. Go ahead there, comment.
VA3CJZ and VA3NCA. Yeah, no, it was between Mercury and Venus for sure. Mercury is, as Chris says, the closest. But Venus has an atmosphere that is a runaway, it's all CO2, so it's a runaway greenhouse gas. So I think that's what they're going for. But they are both rocky planets, though. But Venus has quite the atmosphere, and so it sucks in all its heat and doesn't release it. So I think that's why. But I got it wrong too, so there you go.
That's hot.
Comment.
Yeah, go ahead there, comment.
I mean, there's this hot planet that the Russians, they sent the 2 probes to it and they lasted like 40-something seconds. They grabbed a few pictures and before everything got the fried. I just can't remember the name. Anyway, so yeah, back to you, Chuck.
Yeah, and I heard they're building a sun measuring device that can get close enough to the sun to see the surface. So that should be interesting.
Yeah, but I'm gonna just try to Google it just to figure out which planet it is. Maybe Mercury, like it, because the amount of money they pour into those 2 probes or whatever it is, like it's really huge. And I don't know how many tries they did, but it's 2 times I believe it was successful. And there's actually even the few pictures, everything kind of look reddish and whatnot. Like, but yeah, very interesting.
Yeah, well, they did build a multi-million-dollar craft that flew into an asteroid there a few years ago as well. So all kinds of stuff going on.
Oh no, but this is like a way back, like the 60s or 70s, like it's really some time ago.
Yeah. All interesting stuff for sure. There's a lot more going on that most people are aware of.
Yeah. The 1974. It's the first one successful probe, and I don't know how long it lasted, but it's at the Venus. Venus was a planet.
Okay. All right. Very good then. Okay. Any other comments? Please come now. All right. So let's start on this day. And this week we're at on this day 194. Week 194. And we'll start with birthdays. And our first birthday person born on this day, November 13th, was in 1850, and that's Robert Louis Stevenson. Robert Louis Stevenson is a Scottish novelist. He wrote Treasure Island, and he also wrote The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, among others. Born in Edinburgh, Scotland. Next, born on this day is Gary Marshall. Born in 1934, he's an American TV writer. He wrote The Dick Van Dyke Show. And then he was a TV producer, and he produced The Odd Couple, Happy Days, and Laverne and Shirley. And he was also a film director. He directed Pretty Woman, Runaway Bride, and The Princess Diaries. And he was born in New York City, and he's the brother of Penny Marshall, the actress that played on Laverne and Shirley. And turning 69 today is Whoopi Goldberg. Born in 1955, an American comedian and actress. And of course, she's the host of The View. Next, we've got Vinny Testaverde, born on this day, 1963. That would make him, 61 today. He is an American College Football Hall of Fame quarterback. Won the Heisman Trophy in 1986, was at the University of Miami, and then he went to the Pro Bowl in the NFL. In the 90s, Tampa Bay Bucks, New York Jets, and he was born in Brooklyn, New York. Jimmy Kimmel is 57 today. Jimmy Kimmel was born in 1967, and he's an American TV host and producer of the Jimmy Kimmel Live show. Born in Brooklyn, New York, also. Next, Gerard Butler turns 55 today. He's a Scottish actor born in 1969. They mentioned the movie Dracula 2000 here, but he's been in way better movies than that. He was in London Has Fallen and Olympus Has Fallen, and he was in the 300 movie with the Spartans. Whole whack of movies there. He's a good actor. I like him. Anyways, that's my last entry for people born on this day. Not too many. So we'll go next to who died today in history. We'll start off with Ronnie Bond, passing away in 1992 on this day. He's a British drummer with the band The Trogs. You remember them? They sang the song Wild Thing, I Think I Love You. Anyways, he was 52 when he died back in 1992. Dying today in 1998 is the brother of Justin Trudeau, the youngest brother out of all the siblings, Michel Trudeau. He was a Canadian outdoorsman and son of Pierre Elliott Trudeau. He was very young. He was born in 1975, so that would have made him 23 years old. The younger brother of current Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, he died in an avalanche on November 13th, 1998, while skiing in Kokanee Glacial Provincial Park. And last on my list is Eddie Guerrero, passing away in 2005 in a hotel room by himself. Eddie Guerrero was a Mexican pro wrestler. He was with the WWE, and he died of atherosclerotic cardiovascular. He had a heart attack in bed, and he was 38 years old. So since we didn't have too many birthdays and people passing away on this day, I have a compilation of people that have passed away recently, and that means this year. And first, on October 29th of this year, we lost Terry Garr. She's an American actress. You might remember her from the movie Young Frankenstein. She was in the movie Tootsie, in the movie Mr. Mom, and many others. She dies of complications of multiple sclerosis at the age of 79. And passing away October 25th of this year, Phil Lesh. His real name is Chapman, and he's the bassist for the Grateful Dead. Dies at the age of 84. And passing away on September 30th, Pete Rose. Pete Rose was an American Baseball Hall of Fame, I should say, but sorry, he's not in the Hall of Fame. He should be. Maybe one day they'll put him in now that he's passed away. He was 83 years old. Chris Christopherson died September 28th. American country singer, songwriter, and actor. He was 88 years old. They don't say his cause of death. And next we have Tito Jackson, one of the Jackson 5, passed away on September 15th. Died of a heart attack at the age of 70. James Earl Jones, the voice of Darth Vader, died on September 9th. He was 93 years old. September 5th, we lost Screamin' Scott Simon, American rock pianist and singer for Sha-Na-Na, from 1970 to 2022. Dies of sinus cancer at the age of 75. I've never heard of that. And passing away August 16th of this year was Afa Anoa, a Samoan American WWE Hall of Fame pro wrestler. He was one of the Wild Samoans, and he was 81 years old. He's also related to Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. And finally, on August 9th, Susan Wojcicki died. She was an American businesswoman and CEO of YouTube from 2014 to 2023. She was also a Google executive from 1999 to 2014, and she was considered the most important person in advertising. Dies of lung cancer at the age of 56. As we get near the end of the year, I will have another list of people that we've lost this year. I usually do that once a year, and that'll be coming up. Sometimes I might just break it up into 2 or 3 weeks, as there is a long list. That's it for people passing away this year and on this day. Do we have any questions, comments, or check-ins for this week's AREG? Please come now. All right, today's historical events. So, in history, let's go back to 1789. On this day, we have a famous quote. A lot of you will know it. In a letter to Jean-Baptiste Leroy, Benjamin Franklin writes, "In this world, nothing can be said to be certain except death and taxes." That was Ben Franklin who came up with that. Next, we have bulls are finally spared 700 years of cruelty. On this day in 1839, the last bull run in Britain, as the Stamford Bull Run ends after 700 years. I didn't know that. All right, let's go to 1851. The telegraph connection between London and Paris is linked. I don't know if you've ever seen videos of those ships that used to lay communication lines at the bottom of the ocean, but I'm sure that's what happened here for the telegraph lines to make it between London and Paris. Big, big spools on these big ships. Really interesting to see those videos. Go to YouTube University, you can find some.
I've seen those. Those are neat. Those ships, VA3WPG.
Yeah, let alone the size of those spools.
And the thickness of wire on the spools.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. They got to make him pretty solid. All right. So let's go to 1856 now. The Great Bell of Big Ben first chimes at the foot of the still unfinished clock tower outside the Palace of Westminster. First time Big Ben rings his bell was on this day in 1856. Okay, in 1861 now, a letter is written by Reverend Mark Watkinson petitioning the Treasury Department to recognize Almighty God on American coins. The department eventually decides on the motto, "In God We Trust." And there you have it. Goes back to 1861. And on this day in 1900, the Baltimore Orioles, who would later become the New York Yankees, enter baseball's American League. As you might know, there are two leagues in the baseball. There's the American League and the National League, AL and NL. All right, next let's go to 1916, smack dab in the middle of World War I. Prime Minister of Australia, Billy Hughes, is expelled from the Labour Party over his support for conscription. Now, for those who don't know, conscription means everyone that turns 18 must do military service. And being it World War I, they wanted to create the draft for them. And let's go to 1927 now. The New York, New Jersey Holland Tunnel opens. All right. Does anybody know who the original maker of Spam is?
Hormel.
Correct. So my next story goes to 1933, and we have the first modern sit-down strike by Hormel meat packers in Austin, Minnesota. Yes, Hormel Foods Corporation created Spam in Austin, Minnesota on July 5th, 1937. And in 1937, NBC forms the first full-size symphony orchestra exclusively for radio. In 1942 now, we have a famous battle at Guadalcanal, and it's called the Chaotic Sea Battle of Friday the 13th. In 1942, today was a Friday, as we are November 13th. False fingernails are first sold in 1952 on this day. (1966) American comedian Flip Wilson makes his debut appearance on the Ed Sullivan Show. He would go on to return 10 times on the Ed Sullivan Show. Flip Wilson was a funny guy. Remember, he used to dress up as a woman? All right, 1977, the final Al Cap comic strip of Little Abner. Remember Little Abner? That was back in 1977 was the final one. I used to read that Saturday mornings. (1980) United States spacecraft Voyager 1 sends back first close-up pictures of Saturn during its flyby back in 1980. And then in 1982, the Vietnam Veterans Memorial opens in Washington, D.C., featuring the names of over 58,000 U.S. soldiers killed or missing in the Vietnam War. You'll see some movies where they show all the names up on these stone walls, I guess. (1985) now. A volcano erupts in Colombia, killing 25,000 people in the town of Armero. Wow. I was traveling during the 80s, so I don't remember ever hearing about this happening. 25,000 people. Wow. And then next, the following year, 1986, U.S. President Reagan confesses weapon sales to Iran. This is during the Iran-Contra scandal that broke, and they decided that Reagan probably unknowingly agreed to doing this because he was getting on in age and he wasn't all there. All right, let's go to 1 year later, 1987. The first condom commercial on British television happens on this day, 1987. And also in 1987, Sonny and Cher performed together for the final time, singing I Got You, Babe, on the Late Night with David Letterman. Last time in 1987. Then in 2002, Eminem releases the single Lose Yourself from the soundtrack of the movie 8 Mile, the first rap song to win the Academy Award for Best Original Song. Interesting. And then in 2015, I'm so glad Mac wasn't in Paris at this time. Terror attacks in Paris at bars, restaurants, the National Football Stadium, and the Bataclan music venue leave 130 people dead. ISIS claim responsibility. Did you know grapes didn't start growing until the extinction of the dinosaurs? So we had to wait to make wine. Humans had to wait till after the dinosaurs. In 2017, the world's earliest winemaking is uncovered in the country of Georgia in clay pots from the year 6000 BC. But the oldest known grape seeds are around 66 million years old, which is roughly the same time as the asteroid impact that wiped out the dinosaurs. All right, we're almost there. In 2018, we have the trial of Mexican drug lord Joaquin El Chapo Guzman begins in New York. He is charged with drug trafficking, money laundering, and murder. In 2019, he was found guilty of a number of criminal charges related to his leadership of the Sinaloa cartel and was sentenced to life imprisonment, and he is incarcerated at the ADX Florence in Colorado. That is a supermax prison in the middle of nowhere, Colorado. Who remembers watching on the news where people in Venice were sitting outside in cafes with water flowing over their shoes? In 2019, Venice is hit by the worst floods of 50 years due to a very high tide with waves in St. Mark's Square and killing one resident. And finally, we have in 2022, the Deauville Hotel in Miami Beach, Florida, built in 1957 and host to JFK, the Beatles, and Frank Sinatra, is imploded and closed in 2017 after an electrical fire. And that's it for On This Day in History. I hope you all enjoyed it as much as I did researching it and telling you folks about it. Do we have any questions, comments, or check-ins for this week's AREG Net? Please come now. All right, so that brings us to the list. Let's see who's still with us. We'll start with Downtown Rick, VA3 AXJ. Last call, Rick.
Yeah, still here. Interesting that. And you give me something to do on the do-to list tomorrow. I'm going to go out and buy me a can of Spam. I got eggs. And fry up some Spam and have some eggs with it, fried eggs. My kids used to love that stuff. I haven't had that in years.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that was the number one meat item in every kit that servicemen and women used out in World War II.
It's funny, eh? Used to love that stuff. I haven't had that in years. And instead of bacon and eggs, we had Spam and eggs. And the kids just loves it.
Yeah, well, apparently it's not that healthy for you. I'm thinking there's a lot of fat and that in there. So, but yeah, I agree. Slice it, take the little special key you get there and roll the key around the top of the lid and take the lid off. Take it out and you can slice it, put it on a sandwich, fry it up. Yeah.
If I had $1 for every time I cut my finger on that lid, I'd be a millionaire. Anyhow, thanks for doing it, Chuck. VA3AXJ. We're going to be, we'll be on for a little bit longer. Feels are starting to kick in now, so I'm starting to get tired. So 7-3's all, and have a good day tomorrow. Bye for now.
All right, Rick. Thank you so much for being part of our net once again. And you take care. And I'm glad your brother's home and things work out. Next, I'm not sure if he's there, but VE3KMQ. Mike, you still around? VA3IMW.
VA3, I am still here. Yes, thanks for doing it, Chuck. It's getting dangerously close to pumpkin time, so I'll bid you all 7-3s. Thanks for doing this one. A great entertainment for Hump Day. Thanks again. And I'll be headed to the land of the Sandman very shortly. 7-3s.
All right, Max, 7-3s. We'll talk to you tomorrow at the drive at 5. All right, next, Victor Alpha 3, Bravo Tango. He might have heavy eyelids too.
Yeah, pretty much there. I was wondering and you're going to wrap it up. Anyways, thanks for doing it. Thanks for being there, Chuck. It was a good net. VA3, BT, 7-3, everyone.
All right, thanks, Albert. Have a good one, my friend. Next is VE3ZJC. Jason, are you by the radio?
Yes, sir, I am. VA3CJZ. Thanks for doing the net, sir. Much appreciated. 7-3s to you and everybody else. Good job as always, my friend. VE3ZJC.
Thank you, sir. Only 2 more sleeps till Friday, my friend. Take care. Have a good one. Have a great rest of the week. Let's see if Noel is around. VE3KDT.
Yeah, I am still there. I will ruin the parade there. Unfortunately, Spam does not have the key anymore. It's just a single peel off. But other than that, thank you for doing the net. I guess 7-3s all around. And I'll throw it back to you. VE3KDT.
Yeah, they should have sold Band-Aids with those Spam cans. Thanks. Excuse me. Thanks, Noel. Okay, next we got Wade, VA3 NCA.
VA3 CJZ, VA3 NCA. Yeah, good evening there, Chuck, and 7-3 to everybody, to you and everybody. About that spam, I just remember the Monty Python skit from the restaurant with the spam menu, and every item had more and more spam in it, and it would have them break out into the spam song. And there was egg and spam, egg, bacon, and spam. Was it egg, bacon, sausage, spam, spam, and spam? And they went on from there. So, yep, that was a good skit. Anyways, with that, I'll say 7-3 and let you get down that list. And thanks again for doing it. It's a great way to spend a Wednesday. And I hope everybody has a good week ahead of them. Back to you there, Chuck, VA3 and CJZ, VA3 and CA.
All right, Wade. Unfortunately, I don't remember that one. Whenever I think of Monty Python, I think of the Lumberjack song. Yeah, Monty Python was hilarious. All right, thanks, Wade. Much appreciated. How about Steve? Are you in your bowl of cereal yet? VA3 NFG.
As a matter of fact, I am, Chuck. I'm having that proverbial bowl of cereal. And I'll be going to bed shortly after this. So, good night there, and we'll definitely listen for you next Wednesday. VA3 NFG.
All right, Steve. Low signal, but I heard every word. Thanks for being part of our net, my friend. Have a great rest of the week. We'll talk to you soon. Where are we? Chris is next. VA3 WPG.
Yeah, AVA3 WPG. This is the last round, I guess. Good evening, good night, or good morning to the people getting up for the 11 to 7 a.m. shift. Other than that, 73, VA3 WPG. Catch you next one.
Okay, Wade. Chris. Thanks, my friend. Take care. How about Tom? Victor Alpha 3, Tango Mike. You still around for a 7-3 round? How about Debbie? Victor Alpha 3, Oscar Yankee Lima.
Spam, 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 spam. Yeah, I'm still here. My doggie is on my lap, and she says 7-3 to all. And thanks, Chuck, for doing the net. It was a good net, and we'll catch you next week. VA3, OYL, and the Pooch.
All righty then. Give him an extra scratch behind the ears for me. And a belly rub. Okay, Deb, thanks for being part of our net. Take care. Next, how about Tom in Burlington, VE3, Charlie Echo Uniform. Next is Larry, VE3, Lima, Bravo, India.
You didn't forget me this time. Yep, they're still here, Chuck. Thanks for doing it.
Okay, Larry. And don't forget, folks, on Friday at 8 p.m. on the ZOE repeater, Larry will be hosting the Friday night Rag Chew on 443-075. Only need a positive offset to break into the repeater. Thanks, Larry. And next, we've got Rick, VE3 Bravo Kilowatt.
Good evening, Chuck, and everybody on the net, 73. And also on Friday night, there's the Tech Link on Echolink 9229. And that's with Reg in Australia. He adjusted. He started this net in Hamilton on Simplex, 146.520, I think, or 550. One of those. Yeah, 550, I think it was. And so he adjusts his time. So it's on Friday night, just like it was way back when he started. So, but anyway, thanks for a great job on the net there, Chuck, and always look forward to it. So 73 to everybody, V3 Bravo Kilowatt.
Okay, Rick, very good plug there for Reg and his net, the tech net. And then after that, there used to be the flying pig net. I like the picture of the pig on a plane there that he has. That's cool.
Oh yeah, that is funny. But yeah, go to the website VK6BQQ. That's Ridge's call in Australia. Victor Kilo 6 Bravo Quebec. And look at his page on QRZ. It's pretty full of stuff. And it's all the stuff he's done over the years. He was an original member of the Warplane Heritage Museum. And when they brought the Lancaster in off the pedestal, he was there. So that was at the old hangar out at Mount Hope Airport. Anyway, just a little bit of information there, and I talk to him quite often on Skype as well. So 73 on everybody. B3BK.
All right, Rick. Thanks for checking in and being part of our net. And finally on my list is Vanya, Victor Alpha 3, X-Ray Lima Juliet.
Okay, I'm gonna keep it quick because I can hear everyone like sure. Just one question. When is lucky? I mean that part. How much would you like to know?
Okay, Vanya, you're a little scratchy to me there. Can anyone make a relay? Okay, try it again there, Vanya. What was the question? Oh man, I'm sorry. I just can't make you out there. Your signal's bouncing around so much.
Okay, I'm gonna try this last time. Where did the Lancaster came from? I'm listening what the Frederick was talking, but I just missed that part and it really bugged me now.
Oh, where does the Lancaster come from? Well, a bunch were made here, and a bunch were made in the UK. Am I right there, Rick? Yeah. Well, all I know for sure there, Vanya, is the Lancaster bomber that we have here in Hamilton at the airport there, the Warplane Heritage Museum, is one of only two Lancaster bombers that are still in the air flying today. And the other one is in the UK. And that one seems to be going under repair more times than ours is. Ours seems to be the most active airplane, the Lancaster bomber.
Yeah, I get that part. So I don't know. Maybe I just misheard that. He said the gentleman who moved out earlier and that he helped the Lancaster to come from somewhere to the Hamilton, and I was just wondering whether somewhere. But anyway.
Well, I do know that the Lancaster did go to Europe a couple of years ago, and that might be what you're talking about there on the return trip.
Oh, okay, because I know that they went like a little while ago for the anniversary of the whatever that thing was, D-Day or something. So yeah.
Yeah. So they flew the Lancaster to the UK and then brought it back. So the only two that fly are here in Hamilton, and the other is in the UK.
Good, thank you, Chuck. So I apologize for being annoying.
Okay, Vanya, no worries, my friend. Glad I could help out. And Noel writes on YouTube on the YouTube stream that you can actually find the Lancaster's trip to the UK on YouTube. So you can search YouTube there, and you can find the video for that Vanya. So thank you, Noel, for that, VE3KDT. And he says it's a short video at the museum, but they posted it on YouTube. Thank you, Noel. All right, so I'd like to thank everyone also who checked in to our net, as well as those who checked in via our YouTube stream, which I do every week. Thank you all so much. And Brian is writing his test tomorrow. And I hope, Brian, you get your call sign. And I can't wait to hear from you next week here on our YouTube AREG net. And so please join us again next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Until then, be safe, be kind to one another. This is VA3CJZ saying so long for now.
What's the count for tonight, Chuck?
Oh, tonight's count, we had 20 check-ins, including the ones from YouTube.
Good night. Okay, VA3XJ or QRT. Thanks for doing it.
All right, yes, that's a great number. 20 check-ins is fantastic. Thank you, one and all. Again, 73 VA3 CJZ.